Sentenced nearly 4 decades in the making, the man found guilty of killing Ruby Doss back in 1986 will now spend more than 2 decades in prison. KREM 2 Shannon Mowdy was inside the courtroom for the sentencing of former Pasco police officer Richard Aguirre.
Richard Aguirre, a former Pasco police officer, now begins his prison sentence, 25 years, for the first-degree murder of Ruby Doss.
I'm not sure how much he understands that he was such an eraser. He changed the trajectory of my life and my sister's life in such a negative way.
In December, a Spokane County judge found Richard Aguirre guilty of killing Doss after a jury failed to reach a verdict in the same case in 2021. Monday, one by one, the daughters of Ruby Doss addressed the void left by her murder.
This is not just a loss for me, but a generational loss for my future family members.
1986 was the year of total devastation for me and my sisters.
The age of the crime is also a factor in Aguirre's prison term. The laws of 1986 set a strict standard for the mandatory minimum and maximum sentence. Doss's family and prosecutors asked for the max, 26 years.
This was a brutal crime. It almost rose to the point where it was excessive force.
New defense attorney Todd Maybrown asked for the low end, saying the judge needed to take Aguirre's years as a police officer into account.
The court needs to recognize that Mr. Aguirre is going to be a particularly vulnerable inmate based on his law enforcement background.
While no one, including Aguirre, on his attorney's advice, spoke on his behalf, there were several letters supporting him. With his 25-year sentence, the judge said he did factor in Aguirre's age at the time of the murder, 21. But there was another number he felt carried weight in his decision.
457 months and 4 days is about the timeline from when this act occurred, and that's the amount of time that Miss Ruby Doss has been deceased, removed, as her daughters talked, the erasure of her.
Aguirre's new defense attorney has already filed a notice of appeal. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.